Plus, the paint job is poor. I was surprised, but the guy bought it like as a flip or as a foreclosure, and the person who painted it just kind of slapped paint up.
Inside, you mean?
Yeah. So that hurt us. But it is a great location. Amazing location.
Where is it?
It's just north of 72nd. Yeah. I think their neighborhood is called Waters Edge. I'm not really sure.
Something like that. Is it between Myron Center and Burlingame?
Yeah, it's between Osprey and Windrift.
Yep, I know where that is.
It's a great neighborhood.
Would you list it?
We went 290, should have been down by 280. It's 5 bedrooms, 2 baths.
Doesn't seem that far. Doesn't seem that far off.
If I'm listing one about the same size.
I think we were
I
high.
wanted to be around 279.
Well, how long has it been on the market already?
Since Wednesday, so not.
Yeah, 6 days, right?
It's not like it's, 150, that those things are gone in the,
Now you're
It
starting
is,
to sound
but-
like John.
Well, we didn't get knocked.
That wasn't nice.
He's not here.
You guys, there's bagels and then donuts, margins, and fruit
Wow.
too, so
I should stop.
lots of selection.
Yeah, no one's gonna leave hungry. I don't know if it's all right with everyone.
So I tried to do what Christy does.
We can do what Christie does. I don't know why.
Well,
That's
plus
150, is that what Christy charges?
125.
Depending on like square foot.
No, I think it's just a pretty set fee. Worth
Unless
every penny.
you ask for what comes in.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a search.
Yeah, I heard like a shingle house. Yep. For $125.
Just could
So
get my
not-
sellers to agree to it, and I'm sure.
Does she bring in stuff or use what they already
She can.
She will
but that's a
use
rental.
what they have, like she'll kind of like rearrange rooms to make them look their best. And then sometimes if they don't have things that she'll recommend, like for one of mine, she recommended like a certain color throw pillows.
Yep.
And she was like, just go buy the throw pillows, red, yes, of course, return them when you're
It's her
done.
color.
Yeah.
Red's her color, yeah.
Well, the biggest thing it does is it makes your pictures look amazing.
Right.
And that's what gets people in the door.
I can show you a picture of one I just sold that she did that they didn't do the red pillow. The picture does not look as good.
Really?
Yeah, we started going through them and it goes, they didn't do the pillow. It's a white house. It's everything, it can look towards white.
Oh.
I went out and bought some red towels and stuff, and then I keep them so that I can give those to people for showing.
Oh,
Keep them
okay.
nice. You gotta tell them not to use them.
I'm not a big fan of the red, but it works.
It does.
I'm wearing the yellow.
That's all through today.
I'm not a professional.
That's all right. You guys will get all the good information
They don't get out of bed till about 11. Right.
Yeah.
when it rains.
Today.
Can't show any houses or anything.
So they're teenagers.
Well, we are.
Big
Otherwise,
teams,
Just-
right?
otherwise we wouldn't be in this business.
Or like kindergarten, I want to share.
I don't know.
Like the shit.
We don't want to sell everything ourselves.
All right, well, I guess we're 5 minutes over anyway, so we might as well get started.
That's right,
You guys
we're
are-
here.
You're here, so out of respect for all of you guys, I better grab an agenda myself, so I know what we're gonna go over. We always like to start out with good news, and we have more good news for everybody. And this is again just representation of all of your hard work. So we had over, this is just April statistics, and so over 37 million in volume for April alone. So we're up quite a bit over this time last year. So April last year, as well as transactions are up. And commissions are up again, so congratulations to all of you great work there.
Is there a reason that the volume could be up 23, the commissions are only up 13?
So the only thing that we're coming up with is if some people are taking less commissions on some things, but we're diving into that right now. So these are the numbers
That's a
that
big spread.
Kyle gave me, and it's a big spread. I agree with you. So
I just do everything for nothing.
Okay.
yeah,
You
if that's the case, yeah.
My fault.
So way to go, John. Thanks for bringing our numbers down. The other great piece of news is from Real Trends, and so there's a sheet that Kayla handed out, and so Remax of Grand Rapids again ranked within the top 50 brokerages nationwide, and so this is even outside of just Remax brokerages, and we're number 13th. This is just a huge accomplishment, and this is based on ranking brokerages on transactions per agent. So with that large number there, really it's just a testament to how experienced our agents are, how much business they're doing, and a great piece of marketing material for you as well when you start talking with folks about, hey, come work with the best. You know, we have the best of the best over at Remax of Grand Rapids, and the proof is right here when you rank us against all the brokerages in the nation. So really something to be incredibly proud of. We're up from last year. I think last year we were around like 20th or so, and so we climbed. And so we're really proud of everybody here for all of that effort, and we want to break that top 10 next year. So we're on a strong pace to do that.
Looks like we'll never be number one there, though.
Yeah, that one is
That's an 89.
that's kind of
Wow.
an anomaly that I really think they should be thrown out as an outlier. But they are. Pat mentioned what that company is. Yeah, I can't remember what it is.
The transaction side, they're not actually like selling agents, but they're still, I don't know, she explained it.
On the Facebook post.
I saw that, but that's just, come on.
It's absurd, isn't it?
Right.
Wow.
But really, just a great piece of marketing material for you. We're going to do some boosted Facebook ads around this as well to help promote the company. And really as well for agents who are interested in coming to work with us, the best of the best really reside here. So if they want to surround themselves with that, this is a great piece of marketing material for that as well. So congratulations to all of you on that. It's impressive, very impressive.
It's just impressive that Remax is 39 of the top 50.
That's huge, isn't it? I mean, right there is just proof that that brand has so much power, and we really do have the best of the best, like Dave Leninger always says. So speaking of that and the best of the best, we had the opportunity to participate in an event where many of those, the best of the best brokers were in attendance at Broker Catalyst and Premier Broker Summit. And for the first time, they combined the two, where we got a lot more interaction with those, the premier brokers that come in. So really those are the really large guys doing 200 plus agents and a significant amount of volume. So we had a great 3 days in Arizona, and we have some things to share with you over the next few weeks and months. We think some really good information, and we wanted to start sharing some of that today. One of the speakers was Darren Hardy, and he put together this entire program around productivity, and he put us through an entire day workshop. We didn't quite get through the whole book, but we got through quite a bit of it, and there's some good worksheets in here that we'll be sharing as well. We wanted to go through a couple of the activities really quick that he talked about. One was around multitasking, and we've all heard that term used a lot. People saying we're really good at multitasking, and he wanted to break that down a little bit for us and talk about how the brain works and what's really happening when we multitask. So we want to do a little exercise. So we had a larger group yesterday, so we partnered up, but this time around we can probably just do it on your own. So yeah, all right, we can do it. Everybody we need A's and B's, so just partner up, and one of you's A, one of you's B. Don't worry, you're not gonna have to like hug or touch each other or anything. It's just a mental thing. So all right, yeah, A, B, A, B, A, B. So, okay, A's, we want you to turn to the B's and count 1 to 10 as fast as you can, and then say your alphabet A through J as fast as you can. So go ahead and turn to them and say, John, you can do it to me.
Okay.
And go say it out loud. So, yep, say A. So count 1 to 10, and then A through J as fast as you can.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J.
Perfect. Good work. It's hard to stop at J, isn't it? You breeze right past it. Okay. Next, what we want you to do is combine the two. So A's, turn to the B's and say A1, B2, C3, and all the way, so up to J. Okay.
A1, B2, C3, E4, E5, F6, G7, H8, I9, J10.
Everybody get through it? Okay, so here's what his point is when we're, okay, so B's, which exercise took longer? So the last one, okay. And which exercise do you feel like took the A's more effort? Okay. So here's Darren's point is our brains are wired to do one activity at a time. We can breeze through the 1 through 10 and the A through J because we're focused on either counting or going through the alphabet. But when we combine the two, now this is what we're doing when we think we're multitasking and getting things done faster and getting more accomplished in a short period of time is we're switching back and forth. Our brain really can only process one thing at a time. So if we're on the phone and emailing, we're really only switching back and forth really fast. And so what happens is it drains our mental energy more. It takes us longer. We don't do it as well. And eventually, by the end of the day, we only have so much in the tank, and the more energy we use going back and forth, the more exhausted we'll be at the end of the day. So I thought it was kind of a cool activity. So if you have anybody you know who says they're a fantastic multitasker, just take them through this exercise and see if it changes their opinion on it at all.
We talked a lot about Facebook and social media sites and Twitter and that kind of thing, and how our lives are just inundated with those types of things right now. And if we're going back and forth checking Facebook, checking our email, we're so much less productive as if we were just to time block our time. We could get so much more done if we were just be more scheduled and disciplined about where we're allowing our eyes to go throughout the day. So it's a good reminder, especially in our business, because things are always
Competing.
Do this, do that, do this, get out here, and it's just, you still have to remember to focus and discipline yourself.
So, and the reason why Rachel brings that up is he also talked about, again, the way our brain works is when we have those interruptions, and we know there's always going to be some. It's impossible to get away from it all. But our brain then takes 23 minutes to get back up to speed to whatever that task that we were doing. And again, that's draining our mental capacity. And so it's really important as much as we can to try to get as many of those distractions away from us when we can. So the other part that we're going to start talking about more in the next couple of weeks is around activities management and trying to understand how we're spending our time. And he asked the question about what's your hourly rate? And he talked about all the activities you're doing as a real estate agent. And which activities is your hourly rate the highest? So where are you earning the most money? Is it when you're out with your buyers, showing them homes and working on finding the right one, getting a contract written and accepted? Is it when you're listing properties, prospecting? All these things are making a certain amount of money during those time period. So if you're making $100 an hour when you're working with buyers, 150 when you're working with sellers, those types of things. There's processes we can go through to try to understand what that hourly rate is. His point being is when you're doing the clerical work, when you're transaction coordinating, how much money are you really making during that time? Is that a $10, $15, $20 an hour activity? If we could take our time and spend more of our time doing the high dollar an hour productivity actions, so working with buyers, working with sellers, prospecting, and outsource the other things. He shows some great examples of how that can exponentially grow your business. And so it's all about that mindset of where are you spending your time, what makes the most sense for you to grow your business and meet your goals. So we'll talk more and more about that, but there's a lot of great activities that we can take you through to show you how to leverage your time to grow your business more.
We just want to make sure that you guys know that we want to make the brokerage more and more a place where you can outsource those things. And you already have some resources right now with Carrie. I know some of you use her, and some of you guys have assistants in the marketing stuff with Steve. But use those resources because I think you'll see a lot more dollar return if you're spending on those things versus and doing your listing, prospecting, and selling versus, transaction coordinating. It seems like a big amount of money when you look at it, but it really isn't in the grand scheme of things because you could be doing those $100, $150 activities and making so much more money in return.
So for example, like if you increase your transaction fee amount to cover Carrie's transaction coordination fee, now that's not money out of your pocket, but it's a whole bunch of time back in your time bank where you can be spending that listing, working with buyers and prospecting, things like that. So that whole program is this insane productivity booklet that we're going to be offering some classes on and workshops to help bring you through that. And the other thing too, this quote isn't from Darren Hardy, but it's from Zig Ziglar that some of you may have seen before if you took Peak Producers. But people often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. So the point being is that a lot of this is all just, we know the things that we're supposed to be doing. We know how we can be more productive, but it's just the reminders, the daily reminders. And Darren Hardy offers up for free. It's called the Darren Daily. And basically it's an email you get every morning where it's 2 to 3 minute video clip or a really short couple paragraph excerpt about something that's going to remind you about some of the key things to keep in mind to keep you productive and keep you motivated. So it's free if you just go and check out Darren Daily. Do a Google search for it and you can find it and subscribe.
It is really good stuff.
It's really great stuff. So that's kind of the beginning of what we're going to bring to you from the Broker Catalyst, but we'll be bringing more up and keep an eye out on the calendar for some things being scheduled. But Tony, wanted to just throw it out to you for a quick update on where we're at in the lending world.
Yeah, there's not any major changes as of yet. Rates are trending lower again. Hate to even mention them, like I say every week. As soon as I say them in here, they go up. But 30-year fixed, we're still under 4%. They were sniffing 4, and the last couple of days they've started trending lower again. So we're still riding the wave. I got word, I don't know if anybody else has heard, but the CFPB is re-looking at the trade rules.
Oh.
Finally heard everybody else complain that it just doesn't fit, it's more complicated, it's more time consuming, and they are gathering data from all the major players right now, and they're supposed to make some announcements probably around July, some changes that they're going to make. So who knows what that's going to entail. It just set me off. I had to leave the room when I heard it because it's to the point where we've all witnessed it now, where lenders had a year, almost 2 years to prepare for this. And we had, I think, over 70,000 man hours in writing code. Every lender has a different software platform that they use. And everybody has to rewrite code that will print the documents that TRID needs. And it's hours and hours and hours have been put into this, and then none of them worked because you don't know until it goes live. And every lender figured out that there's still so many manual workarounds and it's so time consuming. Well, now they want to rewrite that and make changes Well, that involves a whole nother round of software updates and code writing.
They'll reimburse you for all those man hours though, right?
Never gonna happen. So expect sometime here later this year, we'll probably gonna hear some more updates on TRID.
They'll probably screw it up more yet.
I'm sure they will, but yes, I know at Fifth Third, they finally made the decision, and this decision was made a while back now, that we don't have enough staff with all the manual workarounds. It's been such a nightmare that they're hiring, and they've got a lot of them already, but they're hiring a whole nother closing team to put right here in Grand Rapids that works on these final CDs, getting them out so we get them into the customer's hands faster. Because right now we have the 8-day window from clear to close to actual closing date. We need an 8-day window. And everybody I've mentioned here before, I hear it on the street all the time. Well, it only takes 3. You only need to have it 3 days beforehand. Well, there's a few day process there of getting it prepared and finalized to actually hand it to the customer 3 days at a time. There's a lot of moving pieces with the title company, with our closing department, getting all the numbers back and forth, and it never fails. We have the final one and someone goes, oh, wait, I forgot this invoice. All right, we'll send everything back in there, and it's just, they're so buried. Everybody, they've been operating over 4 times what capacity is since October. Yeah, it's just, I'm getting ready to take my whole closing department out for a happy hour just to get them bombed and forget about it. They're all so stressed out.
And
It's hard to even talk to them.
And what's so amazing is that the client is so well informed. They don't give a shit. They come there, they look at the paper. Oh, yeah, you got this already. Oh, I did? Oh.
Well, and most of them, they say,
Yeah.
I'm sure your loan officer's gone over this with you already, no? Yeah, I had to meet you at 10:30 at night. And we went through all these numbers. Oh, that one? Yeah, I know, we went through that.
No clue.
It's
Oh,
just,
that's a joke.
it's our government at its finest, but just expect to hear some more updates on that. In the papers you got there, I tucked in the back of it. I don't know if any of you are interested in this. June 7th, we're having, Fifth Third is hosting a kind of a breakfast and learn, I guess, at Thousand Oaks. We're bringing in one of the guys from Freddie Mac to go over the 97% conventional financing, just to explain all the ins and outs to anybody that wants to be there. There is going to be an invitation going out through GRAR, through all the GRAR members, but this is just kind of a heads up beforehand for you guys. You're getting a little advance notice on it. This is a preliminary agenda on there, just kind of discussing what will be discussed. It will be the conventional 97s, and then we're also going to bring in local market resource people, MISHDA, any other type of grants or down payment assistance, things like that. Anything that's currently going on around West Michigan, we're going to bring in people to explain each of those as well. Some of these, I know the 97% conventional is, I don't know how many loan officers out there actually look at it, but usually if you need a small down payment, FHA has 3.5. FHA is a decent option, but this 97 conventional is most cases a better option than FHA, just because of the mortgage insurance, a little less down payment. I mean, it's only 0.5%. But also with the mortgage insurance, it will eventually drop off when you get down to 80%, where FHA won't. When you're only putting 3.5% down on FHA, that's life of loan mortgage insurance. So there are some better things to the 97, especially when someone has a lower credit score. If you're doing a 95 conventional and you only have a 660 credit score, there are so many pricing add-ons that all of a sudden you're paying a rate at 4.5. The 97 has one flat pricing adjustment for the entire loan, so all the credit scores don't matter. So that 4.5 on conventional with a 660 score turns into a 3.875 on the 97 conventional, because you don't have to take all those extra pricing add-ons with the lower score. And And they do have reduced mortgage insurance, where the mortgage insurance is the same as a 95, even though you're on the 97. So that helps out. And I know a lot of people I've heard, yeah, but there's income limits to the 97. The income limits aren't that bad. They are there, but in the state of Michigan, those limits range anywhere from 49.7 up to 84,300 a year. So, and if you just want to look at areas around here, Kent County is 64,000 a year. So as long as your income is at 64 or less, you can qualify on this. Or if you're in an underserved area, which there's several areas around Kent County, there's actually 52 census tracts in Kent County that are considered underserved, so there are no income limits in those areas. But there's a ton of information. Don't want to go through all of it here, but June 7th, anybody that's interested, you'll get a free breakfast. And they're only doing it for a couple hours, so eat breakfast, hour and a half of learning. You have all the info you need.
Great, thanks, Tony. Appreciate it. So we're gonna skip over the achieve portion. All right, so another thing that we have going on is there is now gonna be helium tanks at each one of the offices and Remax of Grand Rapids balloons. So you'll be able to, instead of having to go to the grocery store for your open houses, or if you have, clients with kiddos come in, feel free to grab them a balloon or take some with you to put on your open house signs. All we're going to be doing is, I don't know if you want to fill in.
Just encouraging people to make a donation if you're going to utilize the helium to the Children's Miracle Network. We're not asking for any minimum amount, but we're just encouraging you to do that if you are choose to use them for open houses. So, kind of exciting.
Good idea.
You want to have balloons all over Grand Rapids on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
And it's only for balloons, right?
It's only for balloons.
Yeah, no, yeah.
If there's any YouTube videos of somebody,
I'm sure it's not going to
sucking
be
on the
handled
end
that
of
way in
those.
Standale, though.
Yeah.
me making sales
Thanks for allowing
calls
me to
after.
use the Remax balloon for my open house
Okay.
last week, and that was great.
Great.
Could use a few tent stakes.
Oh,
There's one in there. So we got the one from the homeowner, and I got one from my garage.
that is helpful.
Don't want that to blow away.
No, we don't want that to blow away, but it was great. It did draw attention.
Cool. Good thinking. Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of it, but it was sitting there, Friday, so I called you.
Yeah, why not? That's great.
When are they coming? Are they here now? When?
They should have been delivered here. They need to get set up, so we'll get them finished set up by the end of this week for each one of the offices, so we can start using them.
Could have used one at the bank yesterday.
See?
One of Joel's customers brought a kid in that screamed at the
There
top
you
of his
go.
lungs for 20 minutes straight.
It's the small things, right? Makes all the difference.
Over there.
We wanted
Pretty
to.
scary guy there.
I wasn't anywhere near him. He was with the personal banker. I couldn't stay away from him. I felt like I might be scared of him.
Did you close your door?
Didn't matter. Did not matter.
Couple new posts on the app that we just wanted to mention so that everybody can keep on using these resources. One is there's another set of 4 more articles and images if you're starting to use the email newsletter. So if you want to just copy and paste these and get another newsletter out, they're up there and available for you. So feel free to do that. If you have any questions about setting it up, happy to sit down with you as well. And there is a recorded video on the app too about setting up an email marketing campaign to your network.
And I've heard from a couple of people, nobody will open them, nobody will open them. When I was sending them out before, when I was just doing real estate business, I had 40% open rate. And you can actually look at who's opening it and who's not opening it. And your client can unsubscribe if they don't want it. But even if they're not opening it, my name comes up right in the inbox. And so as much as you think somebody might not use this, it still is in marketing, it's how many touches you're getting. And that is another touch, just having your name in the inbox, whether or not they use it or not. Sometimes I had people even call me and say, hey, thanks for sending that. Or send me an email, this is great stuff. So use it. It's real easy. It takes you about 60 seconds to upload it. And
As fast as you can copy and paste.
yeah, and and send it out, and it is one more marketing touch, 12 times a year. So.
The other thing we wanted to bring up is, we don't talk about it enough, but with RE/MAX, we have the unique opportunity of the school balloon program, and it can be used very effectively to get your name out there as well. We've done it before. I know Steve Robrun from Cascade Office is doing it at his school this Friday. They'll take out, the pilot will come. They pretty much take care of everything. It's very easy on you. They'll bring RE/MAX baseball cards to hand out. We have bookmarks for the balloon festival that we can provide to you to hand out if you choose to do it, to help promote that, but also give something away. Steve did a really unique thing where basically all those bags with the little drawstrings that kids are starting to carry around and keep all sorts of things in. He had all of those made up with a RE/MAX balloon on the back and his contact information, and he put all of those materials in that bag, and he's going to be handing those out at the school to 600 kids that all end up going back home, and they use those for months on end. So great way to get in front of people and give back to the community as well.
The school thing, I mean, the school just thinks it's great because it's something for their kids to do, and it's they think that they're the only school that's doing it. Plus the parents, we did it on the largest PTO fundraising day of the year. And so up until that point, they were sending out mailings about, raise money. And so we were just sending out mailings within that packet that they were sending out. So I was like, boom, 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 boom. RE/MAX of Grand Rapids is providing this for you. And then the balloon thing, parents came out with their kids and they all loved it. They were all excited. It was our school's right in the neighborhood. So the whole neighborhood saw the balloon. So I think it's a very inexpensive way to get out there and get your name out there and get back to the community. So I think they charge per something with mileage, I think.
There's a little bit of mileage depending on how far they have to go.
Right, but I think we paid $500 or $600 or something like that for it. So,
and if you have any doubt of how much the kids enjoy it, we got a quick video here. But they do an outside program where they'll fill up the balloon. You could have the principal or somebody go up in a tethered ride if it's nice out. They put the balloon down. Lots of times they'll let the kids run on top of the balloon and help push all the air out. So it's fantastic and fun to watch how much they enjoy that. But then they come back into the gym and do a presentation and take them through a little bit about the history of ballooning and just some fun things as well. So here's a So that went on for probably a solid 10 minutes.
longer than
of
the
them
adults wanted, but
just screaming and responding to, so they just had a blast. Okay, then a couple other things. Marketing ideas. We put a post out there a while ago, 12 months worth of marketing ideas. We just wanted to highlight some of these too, because sometimes with the open rate, like Rachel mentioned, if it isn't an email, sometimes if it's non-real estate articles that you're putting in there or informational things, that helps too. And again, you're building that relationship. So always think about kind of the time of year it is. So whether it's this month of May, it could be Memorial Day. We things about that, Memorial Day celebrations. Mother's Day, still time to email out Mother's Day gift ideas. Maybe it's Mother's Day brunch locations for the dads and who are looking to maybe not are the best in the kitchen. So those types of things. So there's lots of ways that you can connect with folks. And so we did 12 months of these, all different times of year, things that are real estate specific, but also non-real estate ideas, so that you can go out there, find an article, share it on social media, or you can put it out in an email blast, whatever it is. But that's a great way to have another touch point with your database and have it not feel like a sales situation. So, and then the final thing that we wanted to bring up is, if any of you, or if you know of anybody who do internet leads and are purchasing them, this is a great read. So Dan Troop is providing these free of charge. If you get a hold of him, he's going to make you fill out a survey, but he'll give this to you. It's a great read to talk about internet leads, how to handle them, how to convert more of them. And we're kind of gauging interest right now on formulating a leads group too. If people are doing internet marketing, where you would commit to reading the book, commit to spending a certain amount of dollars on internet leads, and then commit to a meeting once a week just to talk with the group about what's being successful, how are things working out, and kind of tracking your progress.
Yeah, it would be, you know, an accountability program, but also like, all right, what is working, what's not? You know, how do you speak to an internet lead when you call them? What's the best time to reach them, et cetera, et cetera. But we're looking for, if people are interested, we'd like to get a group of people, you know, 10 if we can, and meet. We would do like a Monday meeting weekly for, what did you say, 8 or 9 weeks? 8 or 9
8 weeks.
And just hold each other accountable, generate some new ideas, see what's working, what's not, how much you should be spending per lead, et cetera.
And it's an easy read, you know, it's about 150 pages and some great information in here. So, and if you want to take a look at this after, feel free. But it's a free book too. Troop will give it to you. So from there, I'm going to throw it over to Kayla and let her talk about some grower updates for the month.
All right. Not too many exciting things happening, so I'll just kind of highlight a few of these. On the very top, the Better Business Bureau of West Michigan dropped Westmark Exterminating's ranking down to an F at the end of March. So if you ever have dealt with them or if anyone mentions the name, they're based in Wyoming. So apparently there's some switch in ownership, and since then they've had 3 customer complaints of either never hearing back or just poor business practices there. So just so you guys are aware of that. And then also this phone complaint or scam, Rachel DeBack actually encountered this. And so there's this guy who claims to be Clint, and he's requesting either a new roof or a new fence or something like that on a property. He's saying he's calling out of state, he's in the hospital with lung cancer, so he can't be there, but it's usually a property that's for sale or foreclosed. Very weird. They don't know what the motive is, but it's just giving people to run around, because some people have gone out to look at it. They're like, it already has a brand new roof on it, or, you know, whatever it may be. So the phone number should be listed right there. And then there's also, like, that phone number, there's a whole complaint list of the story that's just repeated over and over and over again. So just so you guys are aware.
Don't meet Clint at a house.
Yeah, don't be friends with Clint. And then also the Kent County increased funding to repair or modify homes up from $3,500 to $10,000 through June 30th of this year. So this is outside of the Grand Rapids or Wyoming area, but in Kent County, outside of Grand Rapids and Wyoming. And it's really for minor home repairs for lower income families or for accessibility for those with disabilities. So if you guys hear of anyone that might need that or have clients in mind, that was a pretty cool thing that's happening and available right now. On the bottom of the page, and Doran, you just did something recently with the Veterans Association, or GRAR is working with the Grand Rapids Association of Veterans. And so just cool opportunities to volunteer here. They have a fishing trip coming up on May 25. And I think another one actually, June 15th. And so I'll be letting you guys know throughout the year. They have a full list of opportunities here that they're going to be doing a Thanksgiving meal down the road. And of course, 4th of July, they'll be doing a big celebration. So they're just talking about how much the veterans love the community and being able to meet agents. I know the May group went to a poker night type of thing. So that was really fun. So just a cool opportunity to give back and meet some new people and honor the veterans in the area. And then on the back side, those of you dying to get on TV, HGTV reached out to the Grand Rapids Association of Realtors for a Lakefront Bargain Hunt, the TV show. So they're looking for lakefront properties to film $350,000 or less. It could have happened in the past 6 months, or a buyer that you're working with right now. So if that applies to any of you, or you may know of anyone that might be interested in that, there's some contact info there. And then lastly, there's a big Q&A here about if you do discover your listing on Craigslist, what to do. I know we touched on that briefly last month, but they give a really nice list here of who to contact, what to do, where to report it, and also talked about setting up a Google search or a Google alert, basically like for your name and for your listing, so that you might be pre-warned if anyone is trying to steal your information and put it elsewhere, because it goes outside of Craigslist. It's on hotpads.com, rentgr.com. I know the Lewis Group had some on RentGR, and like our properties are not for rent. So just a lot of that kind of stuff happening that you guys can be aware of, and then if it does happen to some of your listings, what you can do about that.
You guys know what familiar with Google alerts? Basically, just anytime your name pops up, the internet's gonna let you know.
This, what she's talking about, these houses being on Craigslist, is a real big problem right now. And especially in the higher end homes, there's a lot of agents that are stealing photos, stealing the comments from your listings, putting their name and contact information on it, and trying to get buyers off of it. And so there's a lot of copyright infringements there. And your clients, if they find out, like Amanda Bolger's had one client find out about it, and her client was upset that it was under a different agent. So, we just want to make sure that, one, you guys know that that's not okay, which I know you do, but also that if you have high-end listings, you should keep an eye on that.
Yes, no, that's all right. That was it for GAR. And then also just wanted to mention for the Refi Masterclass, for those of you that may not have heard what that is, we're creating an opportunity in a classroom forum, either half an hour or hour-long classes that can be informational or interactive. And we want you guys as agents to be able to run them and contribute to them. So if you have a lot of expertise in a certain area, that's what we're offering these for. And so we have the first 4 scheduled here for the month of May. So I've just written down the classes and the time. So Rory Byrne from Chief Title is going to be doing 2 classes, one on short sale and foreclosures, and then the second one on the language of sales. And then Josh May is going to be running 2 as well. So the first one will be on client relations, and the second on leading a team. And just to note that obviously for leading a team, if you already are leading a team, great class, but if you're interested in leading a team at some point in time, also a good opportunity. So the dates are there, so go ahead and mark the calendars for those, and they will be happening in Cascade.
Those will be, but
Yeah,
we if you guys want to host one, I know Brian had mentioned to me that he's got a lot of expertise in holding open houses and maybe interested in that. But we want those to be like sort of round, not necessarily all of them, but some of them to be round table discussions, a way for you guys to be in, conversation with other agents, knowing about what are the hot topics in real estate right now. And then also that short sale and foreclosure one, we also want as a brokerage to be forecasting the future. The market's really great right now. We're not dealing with a whole ton of short sales and foreclosures. We run into them every once in a while, but the market's not always going to stay the same way. It's just the nature of the real estate business. And so you as agents need to be aware of those things so that when the market changes, you can adapt and still, do well during those changes. So make sure that even if a topic doesn't look like it's pertinent to you right at that moment, that you're ahead of the game, because somebody could call you tomorrow and want to. We had like 6 home deals going through here like a month ago, and everyone was like, "I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this," and then they were all scrambling to get their paperwork. Well, if you know ahead of time, then when you go show that HUD home, you're not concerned about the questions that your client's going to ask or how to deal with them.
If I can just piggyback off one thing she said with veterans, I think all you guys in here are aware of it, but just in case, if you're dealing with any veterans, a VA loan is one of the best loans you can get. You can get 100% financing with no PMI. The rates are still low. You're still right there with everything else, but it's just real strong. You can walk in with literally nothing down, and you don't pay PMI. And if you have any disabled veterans, if the VA deems a veteran 100% disabled, you're exempt from paying property taxes in the state of Michigan. So just in case anybody isn't aware of that, some more good talking points to explain to them why it's a good time to buy a house.
Right.
Well, that and too, if you're presenting, because we're doing all these multiple offer situations, if you're presenting to another agent a VA loan, use that language right off the bat with the agent. The other agent might think, all right, it's VA, I'm gonna have to deal with a whole bunch more headaches, et cetera. But if you say, hey, my client's using, they have, you know, they have money, but they're using this program because it's 100% down and no PMI. It's just saying, it's not that they're not qualified for a conventional loan, but they're a veteran and they're gonna take advantage of these, you know, advantages that they have in our country. So that the other agent thinks, all right, this is why they're doing it. It's not, you know, they're not qualified.
Tony, can they get pre-approved before you write the offer so that it takes some time off the loan process?
Yes and no. Right now, we don't give formal pre-approval letters on a VA loan, but I can run it and tell you it's approved. It's semantics on, we have to meet the government's requirements of a pre-approval, what we looked at, what we haven't. But I can tell you, it's been pre-approved and it pretty much follows FHA guidelines.
So it'll cut down the time on the back end a little.
There really isn't any extra time. I mean, the main time is with the appraisal, because the appraisal has to be ordered through the VA portal. That's the only time I've ever seen delays, is the appraiser took an extra week or 10 days to get it back to us. But in the meantime, we just clear everything else up to that point. We're just waiting for that to be signed off and we're done. Most of my VA loans, as soon as the appraisal's signed off, we're clear to close because everything else is finished. But it shouldn't really take any more time than anything else.
One more training opportunity to mention. So Treadstone Funding, they wanted to come in and do a sales training course. So they're going to be doing this on the 18th of May at 1 p.m. At the Cascade office. It's going to be about a 45-minute course and then 15 minutes for some Q&A at the end. It's all around sales. So mark your calendars and join us if you're available. So should be good. We're looking forward to that. And then as well, if you haven't taken a look on the company calendar for visiting the Helen DeVos Children's Hospital, so it's an opportunity June 10th, I believe, free lunch, and you get to see where your dollars are going and being spent for all the money that you've been giving to the Children's Miracle Network. So take advantage of that and go check it out. Spend some time down there. And then finally, the Balloon Festival. So still looking for people who are interested in sponsoring activities, becoming a friend of the festival. All of those are still available. Also, just wanted to mention the 4 rounds of golf at Glen Eagle that will be raffling off. For those that do sign up, we'll be doing that June 1st. So if everybody who's a sponsor by then, they'll be entered into the drawing for that and have a potential to win those rounds of golf. Tony will tell you all about how great the golf course is. If you don't golf and you win it, then you can give them away to a client gift. You can sell them online, do whatever you want. So from there, we're all done with our portion. So if there's inside scoop, things that people want to talk about, or we can move on to looking at listings. Just a moment to.
Anybody have any buyer needs or upcoming listings?
Yeah, I've got a listing down in Martin. It's gonna be 11 acres. Huge house, like 2,400 square feet. It's currently a rental, so it's an income property. It's got a huge pole barn. It's gonna be at 300, 290. Probably next week. Trying to get the guy to do a couple repairs. And it's just been busy. Just can't get out there.
Nice, good one.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
I have one coming up in Jamestown. 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 289. Probably end of this week. I'm trying to get them to declutter a little more.
that one will sell just because of the lack of inventory.
Yeah.
Dwayne's got one coming up in Martin too. It's, you know how they have those really old two-story brick houses that look kind of colonial, very, very traditional. It's one of those. It's in great shape. It's well insulated. It's 4 or 5 bedrooms. It's gonna be like 135. It's a good price point. Martin, if you don't know, it's like 20 minutes south of Grand Rapids. Roughly 20, 25.
Listings? Anybody else? All right.
I knew somebody down there, and then I went down and stuck my sign in his yard before we ever got the listing.
Oh, Dave, you're back.
And
You
then
just,
people started calling off my sign. So it's, plus from Dwayne's church, he knows. Just in time.
just in time. You want to tell us about,
This is, we were talking before, this is one of my blind squirrel houses. I'm gonna use that phrase, I like that one, you guys. And again, it was an internet lead last fall that fell away, didn't know where they went. All of a sudden they called me 6 weeks ago, saying, hey, we can't get a hold of the listing agent in this house, we're gonna go see it. So they bought that one, then I had to list both their houses. So this is the one, I had an open house Saturday. Only 16 people through. But
Oh,
just
my.
a nice little 2-story in Caledonia, an acre and a half.
Lead Street League.
No, realtor. Like I said, only 16 at his house. We had 63 at her house on Saturday.
that's nuts.
In a little bungalow. This house would have fit the 63 people better.
What do we
Did you have
hear?
food to feed all 63 of them, or candy, or
No, nothing.
balloons?
There for the house.
Now you can have balloons out front.
Ah, there we go. There weren't many kids, just a lot of, a lot of young people.
Yeah, I bet.
Another one. But it's just there again, this is a little dated some things, but actually I'm checking my email to see if our counter offer is getting accepted this morning.
So it may be gone.
Might be gone, hopefully. It's been gone once already. Back on.
Rich, didn't you meet a broker at Catalyst too? They said they want the police involved in open houses. Who was that? Was I talking to him?
I think you were talking.
Oh, it was somebody out of Texas who their open houses are becoming so busy, the police are getting involved for traffic control.
That
And it-
email that
and
you
it-
shared, Dave, that we talked about, guy that uses 100 signs.
Oh, I don't know if it was that. I don't know if it was that guy. No, it wasn't that. He was somewhere.
You have to have a
Yeah.
garage just
You're
for
not
the
even
signs.
using
Yeah.
that yet, are you?
I probably put out 10 or 12, but that puts me to shame. And last weekend, almost every person came through because of my signs. Because I tracked that on the sheet.
Oh, that's great.
I was surprised. Usually it's 50-50. That one, I'm really pleased with, the photos and everything. So it shows really well.
This one in Ypres?
Yeah, I'm gonna have them do some touch up, like some of the doors and the trim, and some of the paint's chipped. So I'm gonna have them touched up. They didn't use the pillows. See that? They didn't go out and buy the pillows. Huh. I didn't notice that until now.
Can't put it on that couch anyway.
Yeah,
Not sure, but
it's master with a master bath and a walk-in. That's pretty nice. And then downstairs is 2 more bedrooms with plumbing for another bath. What really is the best part is the neighborhood. It's like such a great neighborhood.
What's the square footage?
I had to measure it, and so I had to do the outside of the house, and there was a lot of pop outs and pop ins and stuff. So I think it's close to 1,500
Total or just?
on the main.
can't get that from Access, can
There was a previous listing, and then there was Access Kent, and they were different. So I didn't know which one to trust. And Brar was kind of pushing us now, to
Municipal.
better at
Eversource, yeah.
I said,
I don't want a ground Nazi to call me up and mail me.
I've had it with my open houses lately that it's obviously not the signs we're bringing them. Because I'll sometimes, like, the condo 2 weeks ago, there were 12 people waiting when they got their quarter.
Wow.
So there were no signs up yet. So they're seeing it online mostly.
Well, I put up my signs the day before, if the township allows it. You don't want to do it in Kentwood or East Grand Rapids, I can tell you that. Kentwood has a little community action police that goes around and picks up the signs.
Or,
And then they charge you $15 a sign to get it back.
Wow.
They're nasty.
did you learn that the hard way, or?
We did. Well, it was
Yeah.
Juanita's signs,
Oh.
fortunately, not mine. Then we lost one. But Byron Center, Hudsonville, they're great.
Hmm.
This
That's
one's
good.
a little on Cottage. This thing, in 2013, the snow caved in the roof and blew out the back wall. And insurance put $75,000 into this to rebuild it from the ground up. And we have it listed at 55. So it's a decent value.
It's
cute.
Bitely is just south of Baldwin.
Can you see the water from the
So
cottage?
how far from
You
here?
have to go out to the road to see the water, so it's 100 yards from the road or from the lake, but it does have beach association beach
Access.
where you put in a launch. So it's, yeah, it's pretty sharp.
How much land?
It's half acre or less. There's room for a garage.
Are there a bunch of these like little houses in that area then?
Most of what's in that area across the street and down the street are like mobile homes, like single wides. The one next to it, the guy kind of built this giant pole barn and then built a living area in it. So that's kind of what you get up in Baldwin. People can do whatever they want. But it's a nice lake, and I know other people live on the lake and just love it.
Which one is it?
It's Pickerel.
Oh, yeah. that's right.
It's a great place.
I don't know if it's
The
enough.
people are really motivated because they want to retire this year. So they want the money for their retirements. They're pretty motivated.
Great.
How long is it gonna get there from here?
It's under 2 hours
Dwayne.
because you got to go up 37.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
It's cute. Did I miss any properties? Anything? No? All right.
But what you have coming.
Okay, good.
Any questions before we wrap up? All right. Thanks,
Thanks for
everybody.
Thank you.
Grab a bagel.
Grab
Or a
a bagel,
donut.
yeah.
Yes, all of it.
So much food.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
One more. Yeah. We at a table. You can probably just leave a stack of these two, just so we
Yeah.
can have a cascade. And I have a few of the GRAR highlight sheets too.
Okay.
Extras.
Oh, yeah, I said it was done different yesterday, but I said hose it in there, I think.
Hey, one set of time, talk to us about the Facebook ads.
Yeah.
So, figure out the Atmo thing.
Yeah, no, your last few posts look
I
good.
did a typo on the price.
Oh, did you?
One in Byron Center, I put
Mhm.
$2.99.
I missed
So then I
that.
redid it like a minute later, but it was too late. It had already gone out. Whatever.
Oh, well, you can still go and edit it.
Well, I
and-
did, but
But it shows how many people have seen.
$2.99.
Did you did the Gazelle Girl, you
Well,
did
no,
the
I'm sorry,
fifth,
I did 2 half marathons and 1 25K.
yeah, which is longer.
Yeah.
So, I know
This
that,
one- this
Well, I
one is
jumped off a
for-
cliff in Puerto Rico.
yeah, that's pretty good.
That sounds fun too. This
Yeah.
one is for World Vision, so I feel like.
My kids always give me a hard time. Why does mom have more medals than you do, Dad?
This is what I did last night
Wow,
on the Rogue River.
fun.
Me and a buddy went, and we got a bunch of trout, but that was an 18-incher, so it was a really nice rainbow.
Yeah,
It
good
was
work.
fun.
It's a lot of
I love
fun.
doing that.
Yeah, you have to do the Veterans Fishing Day. There you go.
It was a perfect night too, warm, and
Yeah. it was
so you got your
last night.
calendar up.
I do. So let's take a look here. And we got to do it between the hours of. It's still 9 and or
It's
9,
really 10 to 1.
10 to 1.
I mean,
Okay.
he's here from like 9:30 to 1:30.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like we have coaching on Thursdays now.
Okay.
So some things are filling up.
So we could do.
We're doing the rural workman.
Right. You mentioned that. Yeah, I'm curious to hear about that and how it goes.
Maybe here. I don't know if you're coming over for this early or not.
Yeah, we could do that.
If you're already here.
Mm-hmm. So Thursday, that's at 4. So I mean, I'm open right before that if you wanted to do, or if you're well, we got to do it between 10 and 1. You're saying.
Yeah.
So.
He's got about a month left. And then
Okay.
in June, like 10th, he's done.
Well, we could do it
See you,
that
Tony.
morning from. I could do 10 o'clock that morning if that. If you want to do that.
10 a.m.
Yeah. It's the 12.
Can you come here?
I'm fine on that.
Another thing we want to talk about is prospecting. That's a big thing that Burl is going to push us to do, but neither one of us really knows like who to call and how to make the calls. So we're stumbling through it, because it's part of the coaching. So we're going to be doing it like a couple of weeks before this, but
Mm-hmm.
kind of stumbling through it.
Well, that's,
Even like a database. I'm using Realty Juggler, but I have just recently imported everything into it. So now it's a mess. It's got to get cleaned up.
Hmm.
A lot of them don't have phone numbers or emails or
Right.
addresses. So
Right.
got to clean it up before it's usable. So a couple things we could talk about there.
No, that'd be great. And you guys will want to start thinking about, we have people take a look back at their business and try to say, okay, identify where has your business been coming from in the past, so that we can get a sense of where you've been getting a
Yeah,
good return
I've
on
done
your
that.
investment so that's good. That's a good step in the right direction. And then we'll talk about
Can you do
the
this?
future of where you want to try to pull business from, so that we can make sure we're tracking that and you're investing in the right areas, because we want to measure where the business is coming from, so we know that, hey, if we're really seeing a high return on our investment from these areas, chances are we probably want to double down on those and maybe drop off some of the less productive
Well, exactly. I mean,
prospecting
a lot of
areas.
it's come from open houses. And
Mhm.
in the last year and a half, that's been a lot tougher to do because things don't stay on the market as long.
Right.
And I think in this market, buyers are smarter. They've learned that without a buyer's agent, they're not going to get the house. So I'm finding a higher percentage of buyers who are represented.
Hmm.
I'm tracking that too on my sheets. And then this last one, out of 15 or 20 people that came through, I think there was 2 legitimate leads out of that. Right?
The rest were all represented.
They were either all represented or they were the neighbors walking through.
Oh,
or,
kicking the tires.
yeah, or they were, most of them had agents.
Right. Right.
And I called those agents to see if their clients had any interest, but that doesn't do me any good as far as getting buyers. So
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. We can talk about all of that.
it'd be good.
You've taken some of the right steps already to help to understand. And then the other thing we'll want to talk about is just how, some of the things that you enjoy doing, because we find also on those things too, is, there's going to be things that we're going to be asking you to do that you don't enjoy, that you're just going to have to force yourself to do, but we also want it
That's
to
what
be a
Pearl
good,
wants.
yeah, this is going to be a good mix of both, because the things you tend to enjoy, people tend to do more often as well. So, and then for the things that you don't enjoy, we'll put some rituals in place to try to make it a little bit more, because it can try to make it a little more habit forming. And sometimes we find that it's just and this is again just all how the brain works. It's the startup energy just to try to get things going. Sometimes is the biggest hurdle. Like just getting that,
Inertia. That's
Yep.
the inertia. I agree.
just to make that first phone call, and then okay, the second one
Or
starts
they
getting
knock
easier.
on the doors or something.
Right. So we'll put.
You don't wanna.
Basically, what we want to do is try to put in place some things that just kind of knock down what that initial energy is that you have to spend in order to get started, so that you can continue to do that. And then once you do that for a while, like a good example is sometimes people who have trouble going to the gym in the morning, but they really want to.
Okay.
Psychologists will advise them, put your gym clothes on at night, sleep in your gym clothes, and put your gym shoes by your bedside. So it's just that one last thing, because otherwise when you get up in the morning, it's like you spend 15 minutes looking for where my gym clothes are, or whatever it is. Oh, I lost my headphones or whatever. But sleeping in your clothes, it just knocks down that energy to get there in the morning, because your mind talks you out of it.
So we should sleep in our work clothes.
Yeah, that's basically the lesson. So
Good wrinkle-proof clothing.
phone
My suit coat.
glued to your so
A lot of people already sleep with their phones.
yeah, I know.
I mean, I know agents that keep it next to their bed, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Where do you keep your phone?
In the kitchen on the charger.
Mine's on the charger.
I do not want to be bothered. And people understand that you need to sleep.
What if there's an emergency with your kids in the middle of the night?
Right.
Car breaks
Really?
down, yeah,
Really?
absolutely.
Okay, whatever. I don't need that phone next to my bed.
Yeah, ours are always next to ours, but we use them for our alarm too. So
It's true, mine's my alarm, so.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't need an alarm.
that's good.
It's funny, if I'm going fishing at 4 a.m. and I need to get up, I wake up at 1:45. I tell myself at night what time I've got to get up, and
It's got that
my
internal
internal
clock.
clock works perfect. It's great.
What a pain.
Verola suggesting you make calls and stuff, things like that.
Well, a
or-
lot of it is about prospecting
Mhm.
and spending an
Absolutely.
hour a day of blocking out that time prospecting and tracking it. And he gives you a sheet to track it on. And then Dwayne's supposed to email me his every night. And I'm supposed to review it. We're supposed to have a daily huddle. And, it's got us at least
That would be the next step up.
moving in that direction. How's that? Is that fair?
Yeah.
But I don't know that we're like, know what we're doing.
Right.
Well, our question is still, where do those prospects come from?
Who do we call?
You can't just call through the phone book with a do not call list, so who do you call?
Well, and he would say, database and
Database. Some
anybody else you
people
come in
pay for-
contact with, I guess. But
Some people pay for like Red X service for expires and different things like
Right.
that.
Well,
Joe's done a lot of that.
Or something going on there, so
So there's that. But we can talk more about that when we get it.
I think some of it's just doing it and then feeling comfortable doing it. So getting past the inertia, I agree, that's huge.
Mhm.
And we knew that if we didn't, sign up, we wouldn't do it.
No, that's great.
We're gonna make more money because we signed
it
up.
tells you that
Right.
It's just like with his time, he's working 2 jobs right now. He's got 4 hours a day to do this job, and he's running from client to client right now.
So you gotta be really
4 hours a day
specific.
plus evenings.
Yeah.
So I'm coming in here and I've got to do that addendum today. I've got to get that
I'm not doing
listing,
a campaign or.
getting ready to go up and
So you're not gonna,
prospect today.
until you have time, how are you gonna do it? But,
road
Yeah.
signs
Right.
have
And that's all done June 10th.
but I don't have those excuses.
Like all her leads from last year at the beginning of this
Well,
year.
that's a pretty intensive business plan that he wants us to put together. Session I just watched.
I gotta watch that. Oh, what time is it? I gotta be in Zealand here at
Yeah.
7:30.
Sometimes to a physical reminder of the activity you have to do. I know of people who keep a little jar or glass on their desk and a stack of coins for how many calls they need to make that day or that hour, and every time they make a call, clink one in there. So just as a physical reminder every day when you come in on your desk, there's your stack and there's your cup and how many you end up with into the cup at the end
So
of the day.
maybe like
So
a candy jar and then with little.
you get
tiny
to
candy
eat one
bars,
every
and
time
get
you,
to eat one
yeah.
every time you
Well,
make a
whatever
call.
motivates you, you have to, just that physical
Yeah,
reinforcement.
that doesn't help with the
So-
fitness goals. Pearl has us do goals in 5 areas: friends, fitness, faith,
Whatever.
obviously work.
Does he do a fitness goal himself?
He said he's working on that.
I've been working on that one for a long time. Yeah.
He's a big guy.
He is a big guy. He's had gastric bypass too.
Really?
hmm
And he didn't control it.
Well, he, lost it, but he's gained it all back since then. So, yeah.
I'm comfortable with who he is. Like I've at the Remax conferences, you get to know who all these coaches are because they bring them in to speak. And one of them spoke, Traverse City, and he started off with an off-color joke. And I was just like,
Wrong foot. Yeah.
come on, man, seriously? But you can see who people are when they speak. And I was really comfortable with him.
Hi, Amy, how are
Yeah.
you? Good, how are you?
I know it's going to kick my butt, but
Good.
I'm going to need
It'll
that.
be good.
See ya.
That's good. It helps to have that accountability.
Getting stuff done?
Definitely. It'll be good for you. That's great.
All right, well, I got to get ready to go. You going to need me?
Did you?
Yeah, but I can get by with it.
Good. I got to go meet with Phyllis
You
Vanderbilt.
said Thursday the 12th. Thursday, 12th at 10.
That's going to make for a busy morning if we do the coaching too
Yeah.
at noon. So if we need to reschedule it, tell me now. But
No, it'll work.
Okay.
Calendars fill up fast.
Thursday on the 12th in my calendar.
Dwayne's into his first deal.
I know, that's great.
And then he's got a listing now.
Oh, he's got a listing coming up too?
Yeah, he just.
Oh, the
got
one in
to sign
Martin?
it in Martin, yep.
That's great.
Trying
Rocking
to
and
get
rolling.
him in as much as I can. Honestly, I'm demotivated right now because I'm going through my divorce. We're going through all the financial settlement part right now. It's very demotivating.
Oh, I bet.
Because if I make too much, it doesn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's part of the picture for me.
Yeah, that's tough.
We'll get
That's
through it.
tough.
Couple
Yeah.
more weeks, we'll be through it.
Oh, it's good. Look forward to brighter days ahead then
Yeah, yeah.
after that.
Well, that's
So,
why I go fishing.
there
Me
you
and,
go.
me and my buddy last night, that's, we talk about those things and
Oh, you are.
talk about life.
You need those outlets too. So
They just need help.
you gotta, Darren Hardy that we were talking about today too, he talks about that a lot as well, because it's a fine balance. Because if you push too hard,
They'll be forced to
then
do
when you
stuff.
actually there's a lot of diminishing returns too, because you need to be able to rest and recover or recharge, whatever you want to call it,
Uh-huh.
and then so that when you're actually there, you're giving it your all and making the most of that time you're investing in your business.
Well, a lot of times we work all weekend. You know, like we did an open house Friday night, another one Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And so at some point you got to go. And I get
Yeah.
sick and had to
Don't let
rest
that
up
stuff-
from that. So it was, last night, my buddy, or 2 days ago, my
Dave had a
buddy
good
called and
quote
said, "You want to go?"
today in
Yeah.
the meeting, the morning meeting.
Twist my arm. Come on.
Mhm.
I don't need encouragement to go fishing. I'll go.
No.
You ever want to
No,
go? You tell
that's
me.
great.
I'll put you in the trout.
Yeah, to learn about it.
What's the motivation quote, Dave?
What? Oh,
The motivation quote that he said today.
it's
I was gonna let Amy know.
I gotta just remember the start of it.
That's what I'm talking about.
People often say motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. That's why it's recommended daily. So.
Very true.
Mhm.
Very true.
But yeah, and you start to think about that stuff, just try to redirect your thoughts to being positive, or take that energy and stick it into calling people, Facebook messaging people, whatever you need to do to get your name out there. And that email stuff too, you should start an email newsletter monthly, or get up to your database once you have it all put into the system, and use that lead street CRM system. Put them into drip campaigns.
Mhm. We're gonna be talking about Lead Street tomorrow, so.
Oh,
get you all
sure,
filled in
yeah.
on that, yeah. So,
Steve's actually working on some stuff for me to get letters out to my target neighborhood, and
great,
I'm busy.
Awesome.
that's good.
I am
Good
so
work.
excited. I just cannot wait for this whole thing to take off. It's gonna be good. It's
So,
We're
gonna be a life changer for me.
we're
I had my
excited for
first
that.
open house over the weekend.
All right,
Yeah.
shoot, we should have had this class just a little bit
I know.
earlier.
Well, Will called me Friday when we were in class.
Oh, okay,
And he said, can you do it tomorrow? And I said, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll figure it out.
Absolutely.
Put me down. I can read, I can
That's
figure
great.
things out. So, yeah,
good work.
it was awesome. Because you just don't know who that comes in. Could it be a buyer? Maybe not. It could be. 50-50 chance. And of course, I don't know Michigan that well, so I didn't know where to put my signs or anything. I had to drive around. Where's the best location for these signs? And considering it was on Knapp Road, or Knapp Street, in Ada, considering I didn't know the area, I don't think I did do that.
yeah, I was picked like at least 3 or 4 major intersections leading up to it.
And I thought, well, if people come in, then I'll know I did okay. If they don't, then I know I bombed at the signs. But they did come in, so.
Good, good. And you're putting it on, well, Will's probably doing that. So,
Right, to drive people to it.
yeah, just keep it up. Positivity. It's never an easy start, but it's all about discipline.
Once you get
How
rolling,
bad you want it. There's enough business
I
to be
believe
had by
that, too.
everybody.
I wholeheartedly believe if it's what you want, you're gonna get it done.
Still in relationships with people. Like Cherie just said, she, again, a new agent, she was telling me I don't remember how she ran into this guy, but she ran into some guy, he was using another realtor, he has like 30 or some rental properties in East Lansing. And he didn't like his realtor and had just expired a listing, so she said, can you give me a shot at it? And he said, sure, I'll give you a shot. So she went out there to have an open house. And she came really early because she hadn't been out there. And she didn't send her. I think it was an open house. I don't remember if it was showing her open house or whatever. But the house was filthy. So she went out and cleaned top to bottom the
She
whole,
did.
the whole entire house.
No, I tell you, that's a
Scrub.
fear of mine because me and dirty houses don't get along, and that's like,
She scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed the whole thing, and he's like, I am so impressed by you. You went way above and beyond, way more than my other realtor did, and I'm gonna give you a shot at the rest of the front. So he's like, you saw this one, I'll let you have the next one, and the next one, and the next one.
oh my gosh, good for her.
Yeah.
She's new too, right?
Brandon,
Mhm.
couple months.
Yeah.
Hasn't been in. Just go above and beyond, and people will be passing your name to everybody and giving you more business. And it'll just spiral.
Yeah, if you get that first one, then it's kind of a domino effect after that. Just gotta keep the momentum going.
Well, I think it's definitely worth, I mean, it's a lot of hard work, but I definitely think it's worth it. No, I will get there. I'm not gonna, I've put too much into it already.
Do not give up.
No, no, and we're gonna help you get there for sure.
I'm too hard already. Turn my back on it now.
I have to head out because I have another appointment,
So
but
what's going on here today? There's never something
we had.
Oh.
Oh. Okay,
You gotta check your app.
Monthly office meeting, so,
I do, how did I miss that?
or the, and I hope you guys are on the Monday. Did you get a Monday message?
All right, Dave, I'll catch up with you later.
I did.
Okay, all right, serious. Yeah, it's always mentioned on there too. I can fill you in, and then we post everything that we cover on the app too. So,
In fact, I think I saved them. Oh, no, I didn't.
I have one phone call I gotta make, and then we can get started. James sent me an email. Hey Ken, how are you? He's gonna be running a little late. He had something come up, but and we'll get started on close to on time, and then I can just fill him in later.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make this quick phone call.
Sure. I'm gonna scoot over here and look on this. While you're doing that.
Yeah, I'll step out to the other room. Alright, I'll pop into. Pardon me again.
You bet.
Right here. Hey, Elson. This is Dave Belkamp calling from Remix at Grand Rapids. How are you? Good. Hey, did I catch you in okay time? Great. I got your contact information from Sherlyn, and so she said that we should reach out to you and maybe just schedule a time to get together and talk about real estate. Great. Okay, great. Perfect. Okay, yeah, do you want to look at sometime like maybe next week, maybe later in the week, give you enough time to find a sitter? No, Friday will work. No, that's totally fine. No, it's great. You got I can tell already you get the right personality that you're able to talk to people easily. So that's a huge help in real estate. So, yeah, Friday is great. I just have a couple of things to avoid. Morning or afternoon better for you? Okay. I can do in between 9 and 11 in the morning. I want to do. Okay, great. Would you be able to? So we have 3 offices. I'm just wondering, would you be able to come to one of them, and then where you kind of are located around town? Because I could tell you which one might be the closest. Okay, great. Why don't you plan on our Cascade office, if that works? And that's on Cascade Road, just past 96. So just east of 96, before you hit like Forest Hills Road. Actually, do I have your email address in here? Because I could email you why don't I just text you the address? Yeah. All right, I'll text you the address. And we'll plan on next week, Friday, so that is the 13th. And then you want to say 9 a.m. In Cascade? It'll probably be about an hour. We sit down. Is that okay? Okay. All right. 9 to 10 a.m. And we'll plan on that. All right. It was good talking with you, Allison. All right. Wonderful. Have a great rest of the day. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Well, you too. Bye-bye.